mynews.studio.
In Cape Town, enormous screens show a herd of saiga antelope racing across the grasslands of Kazakhstan. At the same time, innovators from 5 continents each receive £1 million for their environmental breakthroughs. The big question is, can these projects truly change the planet?
Today is November 7th, 2025. The Earthshot Prize just wrapped up in South Africa. But it's not your typical award show. 5 projects, each with £1 million in funding, and the ambition is to tackle the world's most urgent environmental problems. Where should we dive in?
Let's start in Bogota. Since 2018, they've managed to cut air pollution by nearly a quarter. The city invested almost $20 billion into sustainable mobility, expanding the biggest cycle path network in Latin America, adding over 1,400 electric buses, and giving more public space back to people instead of cars. Their Barrios Vitales project, which launched last year, encouraged even more cycling and walking. Now it's being expanded to dozens of neighborhoods. Could this be a model for other cities? It's being expanded to dozens of neighborhoods. Could this be a model for other cities?
It's impressive. Cities everywhere are struggling with air quality and traffic jams. Bogota's method, big investments and changing the whole system, seems effective. But not every city has that kind of budget. Do you see approaches that rely more on community-led or smaller-scale innovation?
Definitely. Take the Green Africa Youth Organization in Ghana. They're working to create zero-waste communities, focusing on changing the way people deal with waste and building circular economies from the ground up. It's more than just recycling bins. It's about changing daily habits and supporting local leaders.
And it's not limited to cities. The Altan Dala Conservation Initiative in Kazakhstan took on biodiversity loss by helping bring back the saiga antelope, which was once nearly extinct. By restoring the steppe ecosystem, they've shown that well-planned conservation can revive both species and habitats. What set their approach apart?
They brought together governments, scientists, and local communities, even across borders, protecting migration routes, cracking down on poaching, restoring water sources. It's large-scale teamwork. But I wonder, can this sort of cooperation be replicated elsewhere?
That's the goal of the High Ambition Coalition for Nature and People. Imagine 119 countries agreeing to protect 30% of land and oceans by 2030. The target is clear, but who makes sure it happens? And what about the challenges with funding, technology, and policy differences?
The coalition connects governments to technical support and funding. They're building a kind of template that others can adapt. The real test will be holding countries accountable and ensuring the benefits reach everyone. Is there evidence this approach can work everywhere?
There are some encouraging examples. Previous Earthshot winners like GRST and S4S Technologies have expanded internationally. GRST's battery recycling is being piloted in several countries, and S4S's solar dehydration equipment is cutting food waste for farmers in new regions. The prize acts as a launchpad, not just a reward.
Still, these projects aren't without challenges. Funding gaps, regulations, getting communities on board. Success usually means adapting solutions to fit local needs. How do this year's winners handle setbacks?
Flexibility and teamwork seem crucial. For example, Keep IT Cool in Kenya uses solar-powered refrigeration and a digital marketplace to prevent food spoilage for farmers and fishers. They had to collaborate with local cooperatives, manage complicated supply chains, and figure out how to make the technology affordable.
And re.green in Brazil is restoring the Atlantic forest, working closely with indigenous communities. They combine native reforestation with economic incentives. It's not just tree planting, it's about securing livelihoods too. Does this show that environmental action can bring both ecological and social benefits?
It certainly suggests that. Still, the Earthshot Prize isn't immune to criticism. As it gets more attention, some people question whether it's delivering real, lasting impact or just making headlines. How can the organizers balance visibility with actual adoption and follow-through?
It's a fair concern. The idea is to spotlight ideas that work and help them scale. But long-term change needs lasting support, not just a one-off prize. The winners' experiences show that progress happens when innovation, funding, and local involvement come together.
So what do we take away? These aren't isolated examples. They're models that others can adapt. Whether it's Bogotá's cycling network, steppe restoration in Kazakhstan, or zero-waste work in Ghana, what connects them is a focus on solutions that can be scaled and replicated.
And the Earthshot Prize is pushing these solutions into the global spotlight, providing funding and connections to help them grow. The hope is that these ideas will be picked up and expanded elsewhere.
That's a wrap for the Earthshot Prize 2024. From electric buses in Bogotá to antelopes on the Kazakh steppe, these innovations show what can happen when ambition meets collaboration.
Thank you for listening. This episode was brought to you by mynews.studio. Try it for free.